Mika is a very special friend who I've known a long time, and actually one of our storytellers, Ami, let's send some love to Ami because he broke his vertebra 2 days ago. Bless him, yeah. So actually I said to the storytellers at the beginning, let's hold him in mind as we bring in the warmth of sharing stories together. And and Mika called and said, I have this story, is there space? And I said, yes. So Mika lives in London. She is Israeli. She writes poetry in Hebrew. She's a yoga teacher, healer, wise woman. And I hope it's alright to say she's about to go backpacking around the world. Ooh! So that's... Oh, I know what I wanted to say before. Also, storytellers, I invite you, if you choose, when your story finishes, to stay here a moment and receive the... Because we're... Yeah. It's an invitation. Mika.
I think so. Yeah. I don't have much experience with microphone, but
Me neither.
Just a moment to get into 19 years ago today. 19 years ago today, I was sitting in my studio in London, and I was devastated. My soul, my spirit was really at unease. 6 months earlier, in July, my brother passed away. Young, unexpected, an incredible person. And none of us has recovered yet. My children were still young, and I wasn't sort of together. I thought I've got to do something. That weekend, coming weekend, 19 years ago, I had a time. Alan was at home, he could look after the kids. Please, he did. He said he will. I opened an alternative, sort of one of these new age magazines, and I looked for something, some retreat, something. And there was a retreat. I didn't know anything about that network. I put my finger, I phoned, and they said, that's the last place available, and I joined that retreat. So 19 years ago, I went on a retreat. And within the process of the retreat, there was, I found a lot of sort of support and holding and help. And then there was a role playing where you chose a partner, or a partner chose you, and you were supposed to step into the shoes of that partner's parent, whatever parent they chose. And you were supposed to go through the landscape of their childhood, and they would ask you, and you would reverse the roles then. They would ask you what sort of experience as a parent they would like you as their parent to repair and to make good. And my partner was a Russian girl, Natasha, from Siberia. She was like a 30 years old woman, beautiful, very thin. I remember her so clearly because I was her mother. And she was holding my hand, and I took her right in. I mean, I had my little children, I had so much empathy. And I took her hand, and she walked me through her childhood, and she says, Mommy, please don't hit me when I come late from school. Mommy, I just stay in school because it's warm and I want to study. And I just look at books and I don't do anything wrong. And please, when you come from work, and her mother was hard-working woman. She supported few kids. She was single mother. Tough life, Siberia. She said, please, Mommy, don't hurt me. I just want to study. And I was her mother, and I said, it would be okay. You'll have good life. You'll have opportunities to study, and you'll be looked after. And we went through the years of her childhood, sort of going into her high school time, where she was supposed to do work apart from studying. And finally she finds herself in London. And I said, it's okay, my child, you'll be fine, you'll have a good life. And we hugged each other in the end. It was, and then it was our turn to change roles. And my friend Natasha, my daughter, became my mother. And I went right into my childhood, and she's holding my hand, and she said, whatever, my child, whatever. And I look at her and I said, Ima. And I could feel my heart so open. My mother was so lovely. She was just the mother I wanted. My mother, my real mother. And I said to Natasha, Ima, I love you so much. You are just the mother I needed. You were so perfect as a mother. And if I upset you at any time, it's good. Because you were good to take it. And if you upset me, it's good. And I came out of that, and we hugged each other. She found comfort in the possibility that another mother could be good. And I came home. I came home that night, and I went to my studio, and I went to phone my mother. And I spoke to my mother, and she was ill. She had a heavy flu, and she was breathing with difficulty. And I say, I'd like to tell you about a workshop that I've been to. And in that workshop, I told her the whole process. Ima, I love you so much. I love you so much. And my mother, she was 6 months ago, she lost her son. She was devastated. And a year ago, she lost my father. I mean, she was so sad, I knew. And I said, I love you. And it was quiet. And she said, like trembling voice, she said, I love you so much as well. And she never used to say those words. She was so loving, but to gush out, it wasn't verbal. And she said, I love you. And we say good night. And that night she passed away. And I still sort of want to cry just telling that, but also to cry from gratitude. And the last words we exchanged were words of love, and we had that closure. And I just want to say, because it's 19 years ago, in a week's time, that my mother passed away, that if there is a message like of transformation, that the chain goes on, and if I can say, if you have somebody you would like to say I love you to, it's a good time.